There are teachers who change a single life, and there are teachers who quietly change the way a whole civilization thinks about itself. Adi Shankara belongs to the second kind. He lived for only about 32 years, somewhere in the 8th century, and yet the current he set in motion has never stopped flowing. More than 1,000 years later, people who have never heard his name still drink from the well he reopened. That is the strange grace of a true legacy. It does not stay attached to the one who left it. It becomes part of the air. His most visible inheritance is structural. Shankara walked across the whole of India on foot, from the far south to the high Himalayas, and along the way he is said to have founded 4 great monastic seats, the mathas, placed roughly at the 4 corners of the land. He organized a lineage of monks, the Dashanami order, so that the teaching would have a body to live in after his own body was gone. He understood something that pure seekers often forget. An insight needs a vessel, or it evaporates. By giving Advaita a home, a calendar, a succession of teachers, he made sure the flame would be carried hand to hand instead of flaring once and dying. His second inheritance is the written word. Shankara wrote commentaries on the foundational texts of Vedanta, the principal Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutras, and these commentaries became the lens through which countless later generations read those scriptures. He also left shorter works, hymns of startling tenderness, and practical guides for the seeker. Whether or not every text traditionally ascribed to him came from his own hand, the voice in them is unmistakable. It is rigorous and warm at once, demanding clear thinking and offering, underneath the logic, an unmistakable devotion. But the deepest part of what he leaves us is not a building or a book. It is a way of looking. Shankara took the ancient intuition that the self and the absolute are one, that Atman is Brahman, and he gave it a method sharp enough to be used. Neti neti, not this, not this. Set down everything you can observe, every sensation, every emotion, every thought, every role and name, and notice that you are the one who observes it. What is observed is not you. Keep releasing, gently, patiently, until nothing is left to release except the silent awareness in which all of it was appearing. That awareness was never born and cannot die. It is what you have always been. This is why his work outlasted his century. He was not selling comfort or asking for belief. He was pointing at something each person can verify directly in their own experience right now. The pointing has been borrowed, restated, and renewed ever since. You can hear echoes of it in later sages who never quoted him, in modern teachers of self-inquiry, in the simple instruction to rest as the one who is aware. The vocabulary changes. The recognition is the same. It would be a mistake, though, to think of Shankara only as a philosopher of detachment. The same man who dismantled every false identity also composed some of the most loving hymns in the tradition. There is no contradiction here, and this may be his subtlest gift to us. To see that the world is not ultimately separate from the self is not to grow cold toward it. It is to meet it without grasping and without fear. The discrimination he taught, Viveka, the steady sorting of the real from the unreal, is not a rejection of life. It is the end of being deceived by it. When the illusion Maya is seen for what it is, the world does not vanish. It is simply restored to its proper place, no longer a master, no longer a threat, only the shimmering surface of one undivided reality. So what, finally, does he leave us today here in our noisy and distracted age? He leaves a quiet permission. The permission to stop searching outward for a moment and to turn the attention back on itself. The permission to question the most stubborn assumption we carry, that we are a small, separate, anxious self trapped behind the eyes. He leaves a method any of us can take up tonight, without joining anything, without buying anything, with no equipment but our own attention. Sit, release what can be released, and notice the witness that remains. In that noticing, the whole of his teaching is present, complete, in a single breath. And so we come to the end of this journey together. Across these chapters, we have walked beside a young monk who crossed a continent, listened to his arguments, tried his method, met his obstacles, and tasted, even a little, the silence he kept pointing toward. Thank you for staying to the last page, for the patience and the openness you brought to this listening. May the stillness you touched here go with you, not as an idea to remember, but as a home you can return to whenever you grow weary. You were never as separate as you feared and never as alone. That is the gift Adi Shankara held out across the centuries, and it is yours now fully to keep. Go gently and be well.